Canada is snowing, the winds are blowing, and the portal is glowing, which you know what that means. Raid wants our money, so I'm happy to oblige them today. We got a few things going on. So first of all, of course, we have the Summon Rush event, where you can also earn snow points towards your ongoing Titan event for Sir Nicholas if you want the companion champion. I've decided I don't care a whole lot about that event. I'm just going to pick him up from the duplicate champion system there if I really decide I want him. More importantly, though, for 5,500 points, we can get ourselves Wisteria Vineguard, who looks like an okay champion, but more like she's crucial to the fusion, obviously. So getting her means I don't have to worry about 4 rares. I can just level her up and, you know, submit her for the fusion, or I can still get those rares and then I have a copy of the champion for myself if I wanted. Plus, I'll get some goodies like a legendary skill tome, of like rank 5 chicken, epic skill tome, all that sort of good stuff, right? So I decided I'm going to open essentially all of my shards for this, and we're going to see how it goes. So this is what we're working with. My shard counts might not be as big as some content creators on YouTube, and my videos might not be as long, but I hope you guys enjoy it anyway. So we're working with 12 void shards. I'm saving my ancient shards for the champion chase in case I have to participate in that. We have 8 primal shards, and we have 4 sacreds. Now I just pulled a mythical a couple of weeks ago, which was Aphidus, who he's okay, I guess. I don't know. I'm not really made up my mind on him. I want to check real quick. I don't recall if I have a +4 empowered Godseeker, which I do not. So I will actually be trying, potentially, to get myself a Godseeker Aniri. I'm not sure if I actually want an empowerment for her, though, because I think at level 2 is when you start to get extra speed on there. So, I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to set the other champion, I think, to be the champion that I go for. This is the Void champion pool that we're going to be working with. It's very tempting to pick Acrixia because she is essentially one of the best max HP damage dealers, because every single skill in her kit is enemy max HP, and then also scaling on HP and attack, which is absolutely insane, and she has good cooldowns on her skills as well, so she's a very strong champion. But more importantly, I think I'm going to go for Senna Amberheart, this beastly little dwarf that looks insanely cool as well. She has an AoE revive and an increased speed. She's absolutely busted for the Chimera. Krisk is a very solid champion as well, obviously, and then we'll get Godseeker and Neri in there too. So let's go ahead. Let's bang out the 10 pull first and see what we can get here. I haven't pulled a legendary in some time, so it'd be quite nice to see the gold popping up. And a little bit of a pause there always gets me. It makes me think that there's going to be a legendary just bursting out and waiting to see me next, but it never happens, unfortunately. So we have 10 rares straight out the bucket there, which is pretty fantastic in all honesty. I definitely wasn't hoping for a legendary or an epic or anything like that. That would have been very disappointing if I got one. Last chance, Void Shard, here we go. We get an epic at least, and we get a Kafru, the Death Keeper. So this guy is okay. I keep meaning to do a guide on him at some point, but I haven't gotten around to it quite yet. And this is the selection that we have for our non-Void champions. So there's some doozies in here. They definitely know what they're doing with Chimera, because Opardon and Senna in combination are one of the most busted teams that you can potentially run right now. You're essentially going at like a 10-to-1, maybe, not quite literally, against the Chimera, which helps your damage so incredibly much. Obviously, we have Newt, who's a fantastic champion for basically every single boss inside the game, right? They tried to nerf enemy max HP nukers, and then they said, hey, you know what? You're going to have Newt, and he can basically do what they were doing before. And then we have Duchess, who I still don't have, so I think she's going to be my pick because I do want a Duchess. And then, of course, we still have the High Keeper Prisma coming in as well, who is an AoE, or not an AoE, a single target revive champion. Seems to be mainly based around reviving an attack-based champion, though, right? So 75% HP and turn meter, as well as an increased attack and a perfect veil. He's also stripping. Somebody's joined the attack. He's very much there to set up your attack-based damage dealer, which is good, I would say, right? So he can definitely be useful, especially if you're trying to progress inside the arena. And I think Geomancer is going to be the champion that we pick for my epic, because Geomancer is absolutely ridiculous, right, for basically everywhere in the game. So let's go ahead and let's start pulling. We have 8 primal shards to get through here. We get an epic off the bat. That's certainly a good sign. This is going to be Crimson Helm coming in. She is actually a decent champion in my opinion, but she doesn't really get much use these days because there's a lot of areas of the game that you just really don't need her, right? So She's interesting, though. I might do a guide on her at some point. Another epic coming in. Pretty good rates so far. We have Warden, who is not so good, to say the least. And we have Avir, the Elk Mage. I wish that we would have empowerment for rare champions. I think that would be pretty cool, being able to get some additional stats on them and whatnot. I mean, realistically, Raid, like, come on. How many people are still using rares, you know, in the end game? It's not going to be incredibly game-breaking, right? Like, the most you might see is, oh no, he has a +4 empowered Cold Heart, who's still only going to hit for 10% max HP inside Spider Hard 10, right? So it's not going to be anything too busted, certainly. But we get another epic to finish it off. This is Arenis. Arenis. Something like that. She seems to be an okay champion as well. Very much power crept throughout the years since she's been introduced. My god, I cannot speak. If you don't have Newt, I think he should probably be the priority champion for you to go for on this particular event, because he's just so damn good with that A3, right? But the way I see it, so I have Newt. The way I see it is I'm very close to getting a Marius, right? So I'm about 16 missions away, roughly, and I have, like, what seems to be some decently easy missions. It's just going to take a little bit of time there. So progressing through these, right, and then getting Newt at the end, or not Newt, sorry, Marius. He seems like a direct upgrade to Newt in a lot of ways, so I think it'd be kind of a waste if I pulled a Newt and booked him out and everything like that, just to have him be replaced by Marius at the end of the day. You could obviously argue that, you know, I'm going to use him in Fire Knight Hard or something like that, which I certainly wouldn't disagree, but I think... Oh, we got a legendary. What do we get? What do we get? Oh. We get a Tomb Lord. This guy's not a bad champion by any means. He's got AoE decreased defense, turn meter decreased attack, and then some poisons. So he's got like 4 poisons that are going out, decreased speed on the A1, accuracy in Doom Tower battles. Certainly not a bad champion by any means, but he's a duplicate on my account, so I'm not too excited about that, unfortunately. What else do we get? We get an epic coming in, of course. We get Yelagurna, who actually could be a pretty decent pull, because I do want to empower her up and do a showcase of her at some point, because she's a very interesting champion, to say the least. So stay tuned for that. I already have the thumbnail made. I just haven't quite gotten around to uploading it. We have our Mina, who I know some of the content creators were pretty high on her, and for some reason she has fairly high reviews as well, but I'm not a fan. I just don't think she's very good. She doesn't have much in her kit that I'm a fan of. And we get Geomancer to finish it off, so that's going to be a +2 Awakened Geomancer, I think. Let's go ahead. Let's take a look at this event here. And we have, of course, gotten ourselves just over the threshold there, so we now have this nice, fancy, brand new champion that we can go ahead and claim. I'm going to claim the energy, too, because I am farming the Sand Devils during this to try and get myself the Soul Stones from there. I just blanked for some reason. So I want to get the Soul Stones from there. And then with those Soul Stones, I'm hoping to get some good awakenings for some of my champions. That being said, as always, thank you guys all so much for watching. We have about 40 subscribers to go before Christmas, or before the new year specifically. My goal is to hit 2,000 by the end of the year. So if you guys could find it in your heart to help make that happen, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. That would be absolutely fantastic. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Merry Christmas to everyone, and I'll see you next time.